Okay, Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
Try number 2. You missed it.
You missed. Oh, it was great the first time around. Now we'll see what we can do for you guys. Hello, we're Dana and Debbie, and we're having a conversation today on spirituality, right?
Yes, we are. I'm going to give you the floor to begin.
Well, we thought it would be kind of interesting if we just shared spirituality and where we came from in our background as we were little and growing up to where we are now. But we really want to have your input.
Please.
What do you think spirituality is? How does it impact you, or does it even impact you in your life? Because maybe it doesn't. And there will be things that we'll say that you might not like or agree with, and that's okay.
What?
Life is real. I learned that when I was on city council. There are people that just won't like you. But then there may be things we say that really resonate, and we're grateful for that too.
Yes.
Because we really just are being ourselves, and we're having a conversation. And when we were talking about what to talk about, Dana had brought up, let's get on to this spirituality thing, because
it'll take us several conversations. It's and because it's a big subject for a lot of us. And today I think we're going to hit on, like Debbie said earlier, what brought us to today, how you were raised, how I was raised, the differences, and how we evolved from our past in that.
Yeah, from when we were little until when we are now who we are and grown
full
up.
Adults.
yes, and claiming every year of it.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
We're growing more into who we are.
Yes.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I'm 67.
I'm 70.
And I'm still learning. Every day you learn. There's a reason, there's a saying about that, because
what is it? Do you remember?
No. You caught me off guard.
That's okay.
What is it?
About
Never mind. Move on.
So okay, let's switch this out, because our first take that didn't take, it was me talking first, but why don't you talk first? We'll switch it out.
All right. Well, when I was growing up, I was the oldest of 5, and my parents were very young, 17 and 18 when they got married.
Wow.
19 when I was born, 19 and 18 when I was born. I think that's what, anyway. And then there was 5 kids. I was oldest of 5. And so we didn't go to church when I was really young. But when I was probably in 3rd grade, I started going. They sent me with a neighbor, and it happened to be evangelical, so very brimstone and fire. And for a 3rd grader who, took everything in from adults, I was afraid all the time.
Oh, wow.
I was afraid all the time. I remember waking up in the middle of the night. We were pretty poor at the time. My dad was still going through med school, and I really wanted to play an instrument. I chose the violin, and we couldn't afford one. And so we borrowed the neighbor's, and I broke a string, and I literally all night sobbed because I thought I was going to hell for breaking the neighbor's string on it. That's the kind of fire and brimstone that was being done. And then the other church that I started going to with my grandma, whenever I would stay overnight, I'd go with my grandma and grandpa, and their pastor decided to take every red cent and run away with the money, like literally every penny. And the congregation showed up, and there was no pastor. Okay, so that was my second. And then finally, when I was in junior high, we started going to a church as a family. It was the first time Mom, Dad, all 5 of us went. And I had not been baptized. I had not been confirmed. And in 8th grade at the church, that's when you got confirmed. So I was baptized and confirmed on the same day. That church also had a minister who was married with 4 children, who started to have an affair with someone else in the congregation and left his family for this woman. So it was my third, and kind of left me disillusioned with organized religion.
That would.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
And the next church that I belonged to was after I got married. And that was the church that my husband actually had gone to with friends. His family didn't go, but he went with friends growing up. And it was the first time that a minister walked the walk, so to speak.
Mhm.
And absolutely loved him, loved him. And, but still didn't really care for church. And the reason I say that is we were asked to do Sunday school for fifth graders at the time, and we did not come in with the conventional way. We played Wheel of Fortune with, they had to guess what we were talking, that kind of thing, instead of just memorizing Bible verses. And the kids really took to it. That's a pretty
Fun way to learn.
yeah. And so then we were asked to do the youth group on Sunday nights. And at that time, I had two young kids. I think they were two, maybe 1 and 3. And Sundays were the only day that Steve had off. So after church, I just wanted to be a family.
Mhm.
And I asked if they could move youth group to a different night if they wanted us. And a couple of the parents of the kids got kind of snotty and said, well, I don't even know why you're being involved. You don't have kids this age. So we said, you're right. We're not going to be involved anymore. So, and then we were still involved with church. We just weren't going to handle the youth group anymore. But those experiences for me were not good. They weren't healthy. They weren't spiritual. They weren't. Even today, I feel uncomfortable in a church setting, in an organized religious setting. And so I have started to kind of take, this is going to be very controversial. I don't mean it to be, but I'm taking in a lot of nature stuff. And some people call it Wiccan. I jokingly call myself a witch. I am not a witch. I don't know enough to do any of that. But I do make some spell jars, and my spell jars are nothing but goodness. They're for love, for protection, for a good outcome. Those spell jars to me are like prayers. They're intent. It's intention that is given out. And I'm still learning all of this kind of stuff. And yeah.
And I think too, like, even because I was raised Catholic, and we have, Catholics have medals, and that they wear their medals or their scapulas, and they wear them with a specific intention that was created
Yes.
for. And so there could be a correlation if you want to look at it that way too. So my whole life I was raised Catholic, and I was the oldest of 8, and the big sister, and claim it and wear that badge proudly. And so in that, we were raised with the fear of the devil was really something that was not easy. It was always present. Sinning was really scary. And so we did, and we very strict, followed all the rules. I love many of the traditions of the Catholic Church still. I do, and I think Mary has helped me be the mom that I am because I asked for her help in many ways, because I think Jesus was a rabble rouser and my kids have been. So she gets me. So there's all of that. St. Joseph, he's a carpenter. Whenever I pull out power tools or anything, I'm always saying, kind of come along with me and help me out. And so there are different things that I still call out, and my angels are always with me, even with the fear of the devil trying to get in to raise us, like, it was like control.
Yep.
my angels always protected me. I never really felt the power of the devil. Just tried to be a good person. After I got married, and we got married in the Catholic Church, and then we raised 4 kids. 2 of them were more traditional and did all the church things. I was director of religious ed for a number of years in our Catholic church, and my husband and I worked with couples that were getting married and all the things, and then ended up getting divorced. And
Which is a big no-no in the Catholic Church.
right. And it happened that my husband is gay, and so it just wasn't going to be good anymore. And it was really hard because of the judgments that were happening because of this, and the lack of kindness and any kind of empathy. It wasn't there as far as where he was at, and the support for him.
And a small town.
In a small town.
Yeah, where
And we
everybody
were
knew.
pretty public. He was on city council. I was director of religious ed, and two kids that were older, 2 kids that were younger. The younger 2 kids were at a Catholic school. Parents were talking. Kids heard parents talking. Bullying.
Tough.
It was really hard. And so in that process and getting divorced, I got an annulment, and I just remember being at the back of the church and just saying, I'm done with this. I think this is
Poo-poo.
yeah.
Bullshit.
And I stepped back, and I was also doing a lot of massage therapy at the time, and learning more about energy and chakras, and those kinds of things the Catholic Church didn't agree with. And it was like, God is leading me on this path of healing for other people, and I need to be honoring where I feel God is leading me, the universe is leading me in what my purpose is to be on this planet. And so I stepped back from that, and I wasn't, according to a certain pastor, living in the state of grace, and until I was going to correct my ways, I was not to be looked at as a real Catholic. Years later, I went to a retreat center that I had gone to previously and talked with a Catholic priest, and I just needed to purge and get everything out and just let everything go. And so I didn't know him, he didn't know me, so that was good. And so I just purged everything, and in that time too, I had also become a minister and was doing weddings, and also helping officiate for gay couples, and just beautiful, blessed moments, all of it. So I shared all this with him, and then I was done. I said, I'm done. And he goes, Debbie, and I'm leaning back and I'm turning red, waiting for the lightning to come. And he goes, Debbie, Jesus wasn't Catholic. And it was just like, you get it. And he said, just keep living your life, be who you are. There's no need for absolution. You just keep following the path that God's directing you to be on. And
He walked the walk.
Yeah. Of all the priests, and I had been exposed over many, many years with many, many different priests, and some of them weren't so good either. A number of them that mom and dad had in the house with us kids growing up ended up being on that list in the diocese that weren't supposed to be around kids anymore. So
that's the first time I've heard that one.
Yeah. It was not, it was,
Ay, ay,
it
ay.
made me sick to my stomach.
Oh, they did not know you.
No. Anyway, that's my story. In growing into who we are, we have different walks.
Yep.
But in all of our walks, and we can talk about spirituality, we can talk about Christianity, we can talk about religion, but when we talk about all of that, I think we're all still walking a lot of the same path.
Yes.
I think
Every religion, and this is a fact, every religion started as a different religion, but someone didn't like that one part. So they, for instance, the Greek Orthodox Church, and that is where my father went the last 10 years of his life, because I'm Greek. And you have to be, I think you even have to be, or I can't remember, but you can't. It's a boys' club still, even there. But anyway,
Okay.
that was a step away from Catholicism. Did I say that right?
Yep.
Because this person who started the Greek Orthodox didn't believe priests shouldn't be allowed to marry.
okay.
And at one time, priests were allowed to be married.
Mhm.
That had to do with money. So there's a lot of things that a lot of people don't know about how the church had evolved and whatnot. Anyway,
We're not going to be scholars.
no. My point being, we all come from the same root.
Mhm.
What religion and all that come from the same root. Spirituality, I think, is something different.
Okay.
The reason I say different is because I think the organized religion, so that's what I mean, organized religion and spirituality are different. Spirituality for me is the connection to nature, connection to another human being, connection to Mother Earth as a whole, whereas religion specifically tackles, or however you want to say it, the good and the evil.
Well, and they have certain dogmas. They have certain rules and things that are in place for you to be the person that they feel that Jesus or God has ordained to be truth. And so there's all kinds of interpretations with all of those things, and we're not here to discuss all of those interpretations.
Right.
I do think that you can be a very spiritual person in a religion. I think we do the best that we can. Some people, however, we're not here to judge anybody in what their spiritual, what their walk is, or if they aren't at all, if they're agnostic. That's just fine. I mean, but this is a topic that we thought we would want to share with you.
Yes.
For me, in being with spirituality, I think that I am just listening to God. Sometimes I'll say universe. That there is this greatness that is a part of all of us.
Yes.
And we all have a spirit that is within us, that is part of our, outside of our human being part.
Exactly.
And I've been fortunate to be present in a number of deaths, and there is a literal change when the spirit is leaving the body, and sometimes even the body will be alive, but the spirit has left and is still kind of in the room. That happened with one of my brothers. And
you could feel the energy.
Oh,
correct?
Yeah. And even after my mom had died, and one of my grandkids came in and looked and said, "Grandma, that's not Grandma anymore." And they got it. Kids
do get it.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. So, so that's a little bit of our beginning conversation with spirituality and our background. And we would love for any comments. But we believe in light and love, so if you can be kind with your comments, that you don't have to agree with us, that's okay. But be kind in your discussions, and support if you have any. We'd love to have that, or throw in your 2 cents worth as far as what more with conversation you'd like for us to get into.
Absolutely.
So until next time, thanks for hanging
Bye,
around.
guys.
Bye for now.